Hi there, good afternoon. It's Woody back for another little chat. Um, just a little update, really, about what's going on. Those who know me, you'll know that I'm about to do radiotherapy. If you don't know me, I've had a diagnosis of stage 4 prostate cancer since 2021, almost 3 years now. If you're new on this path, this journey, I can bring hope to you because, you know, I firmly believed when I first got diagnosed that I wouldn't last long. I just didn't expect to see out Christmas. That was September. I guess, you know, the diagnosis of stage 4 cancer is one that just brings nothing but negativity, really, and dread and fear, and of course, you know, that's how we react, and rightly so, you know, because of perhaps listening about other people's experience and so on. But my experience and many of the friends I've come to find along the way, especially on here, seem to, you know, say different. You know, 3 years ago, I was at rock bottom, but since then, it's not been a bad ride. It's been a challenge. There's no doubt about that. It's not been easy, but it's not been really much. It's not been anything that's majorly disrupted my life up to this point. And for that, I'm so grateful. I really am. Modern medications now have become really good. Hormone therapy, as nasty as it is, it's not a walk in the park, but it keeps you alive, you know. Just take tablets every day and an injection once every 3 months now is not too much to suffer with. I mean, some of the side effects are not great, but anyway, if you are starting this journey, have a lot of hope and a lot of faith that things are not going to be as bad as you think they are. Okay. So anyway, I'm supposed to be starting the radiotherapy. I was supposed to be starting last Friday, but I got a call from the doctors on Thursday evening to say that it's been cancelled. My first reaction was a little bit stunned because I'd worked my way, you know, up to this date of being prepared for it. But when they explained the reason why, listen, guys, I'm taking, I've got 3 lots of radiotherapy on separate places in one session, for around 20 minutes each session, so nearly an hour of radiotherapy each time, and it's intense radiotherapy. I want it to be right, and so do they. So I'm, in a way, grateful that they're taking that time to discuss things further and to check on the plan and make sure the plan is the right one. Can't ask more than that, really. Better than just cracking on and making mistakes. So yeah, I'm fully behind that. So unfortunately, I haven't got anything to say about the experience of the radiotherapy, which I wanted to talk about. Instead, I wanted to talk about something that's become really obvious over the years, and it's about the racing mind, if you like, the mind that you get, where sometimes I find that I can't focus because my mind has just got so many different thoughts going around. It's like I'm it's like a hamster on a wheel, and it's just running round and round and round, and you know, sometimes it can be really difficult to calm down. But I've learned lots of things over this time. And I was looking today on YouTube, and there was this beautiful kind of metaphor that I've used it before, but it was just explained really nicely. And I was thinking perhaps to explain something that might help people that are suffering with the overthinking, the anxiety, and a mind that is kind of almost completely consumed by cancerous thoughts, cancer of the mind, I suppose you could call it. And this metaphor begins with, you know, standing looking at a pond that's dead still, and then that's your mind, and then throwing a stone into the middle and watching those ripples go out. That's your thought going into the mind. It creates a ripple effect. Now throw another one in, and those ripples kind of overact each other. They intermingle, and it agitates the surface. Now get a handful and chuck that in. Handful of stones, and it's suddenly become very agitated, and the ripples are going all over the place and crisscrossing. And that's my thinking when I'm in this state where I feel, you know, when it's overrun. So what do I do about it? The simplest thing is, the first thing is, I've got to stop throwing those stones. Now in the mind, it's not easy to just stop thought. You can't just cut thoughts off automatically. Okay, so maybe you've got a scan coming up. You can't stop thinking about that scan. You can't all of a sudden turn that tap off, which is the thoughts about the scan. You can't. They're going to come through. But what you can do is you can turn it off so it's not quite as powerful. So it's dripping, you know, just one stone going in at a time. And the way to do that is to wait until that pond becomes still. And I thought about this, and the way I do it is using a focus on my breathing. Nothing. I don't try and breathe any different. I just follow my breathing. I breathe in. I notice the breathing in. I notice the gap between the breathing out, and I breathe out, and I notice that, and the gap thereafter. And what happens is I focus my attention on that, and as I keep that attention going, the thoughts slow down, because you can't actually focus on your breathing and thinking at the same time. You can only do one thing. So when I'm coming up to a situation like something that's going to make me a bit anxious, I then realise that if I focus on my breathing techniques, say for 2 or 3 minutes, that's all, I'll start to notice that the breathing starts to get slower and deeper, and that really makes it feel calm and peaceful. And those thoughts, the tap starts to slowly turn, and the stones stop hitting that pond, and the ripples start to calm down. Imagine that now, okay? You're in a state where you're feeling really overwhelmed. Just give it a go. It is such a it can be a really nice experience. And the thing with doing something like that is, don't expect that the first time you do it that you're going to turn that tap right off. You might turn it off a little bit, but if you do it for 10 minutes in the morning, or 5 minutes, or if you can only manage 1 minute, but if you keep increasing the time, a little bit at a time, you slowly start seeing that tap starting to work, and those stones stop hitting the water. The mind starts to settle, and you feel better. The thoughts start to slow down. Yes, they're there, but you're aware of them being there. And the thing is, you're not your thoughts. You're not. The anxiety that you have is not based on what's happening to you. It's how you're thinking about what's happening to you. And once you understand that, you can change an awful lot about this experience, and become much calmer. And I think it just helps the whole process. I mean, it even probably, if you believe deeply that you're going to heal, the more calmer your mind is, the more chance all that starts to happen. And I found that's worked really well, especially the last few weeks. There's no doubt that in my mind I've still got these background thoughts. The subconscious is stirring it up. But the thoughts I'm actually aware of are starting to slow down, and that's because I'm trying to divert my attention away to just breathing. Or you can do breathing exercises. You can just do a focus on just observing something, observing the sky, observing the trees, the colours, the nature around you, anything that brings your focus away. And then when the thoughts start to come back in again, because they will, you can't stop them, they start appearing, you go back to your breathing again, or you go back to the focus of whatever it is you're trying to do. But it just gives you a better experience. So that's all I wanted to say. I really just wanted to share that little tip, and hopefully I'd love to know from someone, or you know, you guys that are doing this, that have been involved in my story and in your own stories, to tell me how it feels when you try and just spend a few minutes focusing on your breathing, especially when you're at your most anxious. There you go, guys. I mean, that's my tip. Hopefully next time I'll be back talking about the radiation. I'm going to talk through that and how it goes, for people that are coming up for that. Until then, take care, and again, thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.